Deccan, welcome. Welcome. Single, thank you for becoming a GG Senpai, man. Appreciate it. How's everyone doing today? That's awesome to hear, Ali.
Hi. Hey. Hi.
Hey, champ.
I'm here. I made it.
I don't know how you made it. You said 10 minutes. That was like 1 minute.
I was real close to home, honestly, the whole time. But
right.
There was just a crazy traffic.
Your mic's not on, by the way.
Oh, what the hell? Let me try something here.
Okay, it should be working now.
You sound wonderful. You sound beautiful, sir.
Hey, I'm always trying to sound a little beautiful. I just switched again.
Stupid time change made my day. What time? There's another time change? Was there?
I don't think so. It just said that.
You're good. You sound good right now. All right, welcome to the Guys podcast, where we talk about Japanese music news and other music-related things. If you notice, we're 2 people short today. They all left us. They said, "Fuck you guys." They quit and said they're never coming back. Just kidding. The people had some family stuff that came up today, but I have some good news. We have Nix from Maid News Network coming on halfway through the show to talk about his Nemophila experience in LA. So can't wait for that. He's going to be coming in. And Champ almost didn't make it, but he's here.
I just barely. I literally just sat down about 14 seconds ago.
I was like, oh, fuck, man. I got to do a solo stream. Just here we go. I was like, ready for it.
You know that Alanis Morissette song, Ironic?
Yeah.
There's a line in the middle of the song that's like, a traffic jam when you're already late. And it literally just happened to me where I was like, I'm running so late. I'm barely going to make it by like 15 minutes. I'll get there like 15 minutes before I need to. And then I hit a traffic jam and I was like, oh my God.
Traffic jam, but I'm already late.
So I just listened to Alanis Morissette on the way home.
That's a great song. That. You know what song came into my head while I was like on getting ready? Don't Let Me Down by Band-Maid. I have no clue why.
Because you were feeling like we all let you down in that moment, obviously. Like, come on, champ, you're the last one. Please don't let me down, son.
I know, but that song has nothing to do with anything like that, you know. So it was pretty funny. I was just singing it in my head. Don't let me down. I'm like, why is this stuck in my head?
It's great song, banger right there.
It is a banger.
Look at this shit. I didn't even have a chance to clean up my room. It looks like a disaster area back there. This is how I actually live, everybody.
I know.
Just so you know.
I just dusted the studio. I mean, I got all the dust off and everything. You know, it took a little extra time. I woke up at 4:30 this morning.
It looks real good, man. But I got to tell you, your studio, it usually looks very slick, very neon, purple and red. I never complain about it.
Yeah, well, I spend 2 hours cleaning it in the morning. I mean, that's why I'm up so early.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
A lot of that time is, based off of cleaning. Chat, how you doing? How's everyone doing out there? No, I said,
yeah, what's up,
good?
chat? How y'all living over there? Well, it's hard.
Michael, this is 100% real studio. No, just kidding. It's not a real studio.
I got to be honest. I thought it was pretty much until we started doing this podcast.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was. Some people did. One person was really fooled by it, and I wish I didn't say anything. We weren't recording. It was an interview. I was doing some interview, and she's like. And then, like, we were about to start. She's like, wow, I really like your studio. It's such a nice setup. And I'm like, oh, it's not real. And she's like, she was.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said anything, bro. When you get a compliment like that, you just take it.
Yeah, I should have waited till we were live to say something. Because she was like, she was so into it. And then when I told her it wasn't real, she was so let down. It was
Yeah,
really bad. Yeah,
I'll be totally honest. There was a bit of a bummer in my head the moment that I found out that it wasn't real. Also, because I was looking. I remember looking at your videos, your old videos before we did the channel, and just being like, dude, like, where did he get all these lights? Like, look at all the computers he's got back there. This thing is fucking nuts. I want to go record in his studio, man.
Dude, if I ever get the money, I will create it like this. These colors, these exact colors. I will do it.
There we go. You all heard it first, all right?
Yeah,
if he makes enough money to do it, we make him do it.
Yeah, I will replicate this 100%. 100%.
Excellent.
Because the Dakota colors are like purple and red, so that's why we always have like purple shirts and stuff like that. So yeah.
I like that choice.
We had different studio colors before. Remember, there was a brown studio when we first started off. Then it was a blue one. Yeah, and then I just stuck with this one. Haven't switched it. The trick is with green screen to make it look real is you add shadows and stuff. So that's what I do. That's why it looks kind of legit. Like most people just crop it in there, and you can kind of tell where the borders are. I edit this shit ahead of time, so it's like already like processing as I'm going live. It's
Oh really?
Yeah. Make it look like you're in a real room. All right, guys. Well, let's get into this main topic already. So, Babymetal apparently was considering quitting, more or less. Sue Metal in an interview. She did this interview. She pretty much kind of fell out of love with it, more like a little bit. I'm just going to read part of the interview. I'm actually working on a nice video for the Guys and Guys podcast. I'll put it up for you all where it's going to be all in audio form. So look out for that. That's one of the reasons why you should hit subscribe over on our YouTube channel. If you're listening from Spotify, hit the bell for notifications. We're going to have some of this stuff narrated by people that are better at narrations than I am of this whole interview. So it should be pretty good. And then you guys can listen to it instead of trying to read it all, because no one likes reading. Reading's boring.
No, right. Reading is boring for sure.
So the question was asked, since your new album is based on the concept of another Babymetal, the question a lot of fans will probably have is, where did the original Babymetal go? So Sue Metal answered with, first of all, the other one isn't the main story of Babymetal. Let me zoom in here on this. And then I lost it. Of course I lost it. Wow. God damn it.
You'll find it.
That's why
we all lose things.
That's why you don't zoom in. Like, I should have zoomed in ahead of time here. Anyways, but more or less what she's talking about is her goal was to do the 10 years, right? To get to the 10-year anniversary. I'm really paraphrasing on this, okay? Here, I found it. And I guess, and I kind of felt her with this. I'm going to read it first. I'll tell you guys I kind of know exactly where she's coming from with this. So anyways, she said, it was made during the time we took a break from doing concerts after our 10-year metal resistance saga. So the album was about an alternate Babymetal. At the same time, we are sometimes called kawaii metal, but don't think that's the only thing we're about. We want to make new music, so we don't want to be tied down by that image, which you can totally tell in this album. And honestly, this is a very cohesive album. It's a concept album, right? It's very
also, it's like what all the people say, in the comment sections when we're like, it's just not metal. This one's not metal or whatever. And I was like, well, it's just a word, guys. You got to learn that it's just a word. They do all kinds of shit. And they're right. They're right, man. Like, even from the very beginning of Babymetal's career, they've done like stuff that is the opposite of metal. So she goes on to say, we want to show another side like this and hope people will enjoy this too. On top of that, Babymetal's new main story will begin again, so please look forward to that as well. And the next question, can you tell us anything about what you have planned for fans outside of Japan? Moa talks about the tour and everything that's going on. I can't remember where that one line is, but there is a line in here where she talks about falling out. There it is, right here. So Babymetal has a 10-year history, and speaking for myself, I gave that decade everything I had and crossed the finish line once. I actually stepped away from music for a while during our hiatus, but I came back because I still genuinely felt that I love Babymetal and that I love music. I feel like I'm in a new band right now, and my current mode is I want to purely enjoy music. So while I do want to bring back the kind of concerts that we did up until our break with our overseas fans, I also want to create a new Babymetal shows.
And she gets deeper into this throughout the interview. You guys should really check this out. It's over on our Discord group. There's a link in there, or if you're part of the Babymetal community, the Foxhole, or anything like that, I'm sure they have that link for you if you guys want to check out the full thing. This kind of it's kind of resonated with me because I remember when you have a bunch of goals, right? And they had a big goal that she said, I want to do the full 10 years, right? And get this going and give it her all. And then you hit the 10 years and then you forgot to plan a goal after that, right? And that's a really big point right there because this happened to me. My goal was to play a huge concert, huge festival, and get out an EP. And I remember completing both those tasks and then being like, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah.
And then
I totally feel that.
And you're kind of confused. You're like, why? I have to want more, right? Like, so it took me it took me a while to get back to finding music again. And I mean, this happened when I was like 22, 23. And then we put out a full album of stuff. I was in a band called Squaraccia Vita. We played for Chevelle, POD. Like, we were doing big things. And then we completed all that stuff, and then the singer just quit. And then I was like, well, I completed all my goals. He quit the band. I don't know what to do anymore, right?
It's really a weird situation where it's like, because you have to set up these goals for yourself. You have to have achievements that you're looking forward to so that you can feel that sense of progression and accomplishment when it actually happens, right? But nothing ever just ends, right? Like, there's no fairy tale, right? Everything continues going forward afterwards. So even though you have to put these marks down, and try to achieve them, like, there's still got to be some sense of like, well, once I do achieve it, what's my next move, or even just like, what direction do I want to go in at that point? I
think the most important thing too is maybe to have goals beyond that point. Like, it's really hard because once you hit them, you're kind of left there wondering what you're doing. And
there's like steps.
There's steps, and they weren't really doing metal either from the beginning. And I need to read the rest of it. I read the beginning part of it as I'd been doing the narration for like the questions and stuff, but I don't know. I don't think metal was her first thing, right? So that was metal was something that came afterwards. Maybe she's falling in and out of love with the metal, but according to the interview that I've been reading, it seems like she wants to get back out there and singing. And I hope she's doing more of what she wants to do with this album. And if she's happy, I'm happy.
There's like a lot of things that honestly go into her saying that. Like, from my perspective of like, one, it could, oh my God, like so many things on it. Like, who hasn't felt this way? Not even just with music, but just in general of like, I've done this thing for X amount of years or whatever. And like, now I kind of want to do something else, or maybe I just don't want to do this, or maybe I just need a fucking break, And like, I feel like, we talk about burnout as like, YouTubers or whatever, like, it's going to be so much stronger for somebody like her or like any musician that's like been very successful, where you feel like probably, and I think this happens a lot with musicians in general. You feel not just burnout, but burnout specifically with the style of music that you're doing or the gimmick that you have or whatever it may be. You might just want to break out of that box,
Exactly.
And I think the pandemic actually did that for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people, they took different approaches. Some people went real hard into the music. Some people took that as a chance to take a break. Some people were just so overwhelmed with emotions that they ended up putting that on paper, stuff like that. But I think, like, I totally get where she's coming from and I totally respect it. And at the end of the day, I'm just happy that she ended up deciding that, like, I want to do more with what I'm already involved in.
So that being said, then, do you think Babymetal is allowing her to do more of what she wants with this album? Because to me, it kind of seems like that, but maybe not. Or
well, I read some of those on that article. I read some of what she was talking about with the individual songs, right? And when she like went into Divine Attack, for example, she said like, I wrote the lyrics to this one. And I was specifically trying to, she wanted to get her emotions onto the paper, and she wanted to, I feel like there's a lot that she probably wanted to do before that she wasn't sure that she would be able to do going forward with, like, Babymetal's got like, they've got such a identity, that there was probably a time where she felt like, well, what if I want to break free of that identity a little bit, even within the band itself, keep doing Babymetal, but maybe make some changes or whatever, maybe just be more involved in the songwriting process itself. And reading some of those snippets that she said, it does seem like she's been really involved with this one. I don't recall how involved she was in the past album, but it definitely seems like she was very involved in this one, and she had a lot to say about the feeling of the songs and how the lyrics would go with that feeling. And so I get the impression just from reading that article that she is being given more space.
Man. I do. And some of these comments, as long as they're happy doing whatever they want to do, they've been doing it since they were kids. They were probably just burnt out. And I think that's what it was. I mean, 10 years going that hard, because you got to remember, they're doing all the dancing, they're doing all the singing, Imagine if they were, and now they're doing the writing, which is kind of crazy. So now they're doing actually more work, if you think about it. Now she's writing vocals and not somebody else writing for her, which is kind of crazy, because now you got that. And we don't know what the choreographic. Well, I guess there's the concert, so I'm kind of curious how they're going to dance to these new songs. I can't wait to check that concert out. By the way, that was just televised this past weekend on Wow Wow. I'm sure you can find some secret links anywhere you dig on certain Discord servers. I'm sure you can find that whole concert. But yeah, they just televised that. So I'm really. I
also really found it interesting what she said about Mirror Mirror, because that was the one where, I don't know how much of this you read, but when she was talking about Mirror Mirror specifically, it was all about making the theme of the song, the whole vibe of the song, which is, how we talked about it. It was, it's proggy in the beginning or whatever, but like by the time it gets to the chorus, it's like really hopeful or whatever. And she was trying to specifically make the lyrics match up to this almost like a darkness during the verse to this lightness during the chorus. And the way that she talked about it like she wrote the whole song, not just lyrics, like everything about it, like almost like she was able to direct the band into like what vibe, what aura she wanted the song to have, so that she could match the lyrics with it. So reading that one specifically, I got the impression that this was like something that came straight from her, like that song came straight out of her.
Julian here in the chat said it perfectly. You spend a lot of time trying to climb a ladder that when you get to the top, you forget why you started to climb. That's another thing that could happen too. 100%.
I feel like there's like 15 things that we could say for why somebody would need a break from their band. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
I just think about when I was writing music for my metalcore, where it was like a thrash metal band, right? And I really started to get way more into the metalcore world, about halfway into that. And I wanted to make some adjustments to our music and make it a little bit more modernized, not be so stuck in the thrash world. And I started inserting some of those like catchy melodic choruses and stuff like that. And some of the other band members, they were not feeling that at all. Like they did not they wanted to do the like 80s thrash, And even just that alone is not a huge change.
Your mic went off.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Is it back?
No, it's not back yet. But while you're figuring that out, also, Sue's dream is to become a singer-songwriter. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Babymetal Theater, that's absolutely right. I forgot where she mentioned that. And that would be cool. I told you guys, I thought Babymetal would be done and that she would be doing a solo album. That's what I thought was going to happen. I still don't know how likely of another album will come after this one, to be honest. I really do think that solo thing is coming up soon. Maybe
to me, it depends on their management, right? And like what their management will allow them to do, because I could see her wanting to do a solo album, but it's kind of like a tag team in wrestling. Like, everybody expects a tag team to break up before they go into their singles career, into their solos career. One of them is going to turn on the other one. There's going to be all kinds of drama. Like, I don't necessarily think that always has to be the case. If management would allow her, I'd be fine with them taking a break from Babymetal for a couple of years, but staying together ultimately while she does a solo album on her own. I'd be cool with that too.
And that's the other thing Rick just reminded me. Yeah, for the recent interview, they do talk about how they're like really excited about coming back and doing new things. So maybe they did have a lot more input with this music. And let me read some of the stuff that Champ was just talking about earlier. So Sue Metal said this about Divine Attack, right? She's like, I wrote the lyrics for this song. Many people in Japan and around the world listen to Babymetal's music, so I knew I wanted to have a beautiful sound. At first, my emphasis was on the words themselves or the messages conveyed, taking into account how their sounds fit with the music. Before now, I'd been ignorant of how accents vary depending on the sounds of vowels and consonants used. That said, although taking into account such rules, there were a few cases where I insisted on a certain word no matter what. That's, I mean, just that, like, that explanation right there is really cool. It shows you how much she pays attention to what she's doing when she's singing and how much she works on her craft, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, and how she's gained wisdom over the years, like if you can just be a person that admits to ignorance at any point in your life, then I think that's like a big step to being able to move forward and progress, right? And like her saying like, I was ignorant about this certain things, and now I've come to the realization that I means to me that she's learned and she's grown and she's ready to like try stuff and just be more hyper aware of like how the actual music is created and stuff like that. And I love to hear her saying stuff like that because I feel like she's always had the talent, but they are in the quote unquote like idol scene, right? Like they had to come up through the idol scene. So a lot of those people, they're really, really talented, but they don't get to, they have to play the part that they're being forced into playing. And I'm not saying that they ever felt forced into it, just that there is a box that sometimes you're not allowed to break free of. Like I know a lot of the K-pop idols, for example, they're not allowed to write any of their music. And sometimes when they start to talk about like how they do, like not all of them, don't get me wrong, not all. Some of them are allowed to write their own music. Like for example, BTS writes a lot of their own music, but like Blackpink, for example, there's this one interview that they give where one of the members starts talking about how they do write some of the music, but they're not credited for any of the music. Oh, and you could tell that the other members are like super uncomfortable with this conversation taking place because they know that they're not really supposed to talk about that type of thing.
Really?
Yeah, but I love that Sue's talking about this type of thing because if she's just even just the fact that she's talking about it means that there has been an opening for her to be able to do these things, on her own, to have more input, to have more influence on the way that the music is going. So I take that as like really positive. Yeah.
And then something I noticed so far listening to these songs, I have 2 more songs I'm going to put up for reactions. I cannot wait to check them out, guys. Don't worry, I'll release those tomorrow on my channel. But what I love is that you're hearing distinctively Moa's vocals in the back. I know you could hear in the other ones, but it's really cool to hear her actual tone and voice in some of these songs. So one of the questions on here says, it must have been important for you all to take that break to recover those feelings, which I think is really important. Sometimes you have to do that to kind of like remember why you love something, right? Just like what we were talking about. So Mo Metal says, Sue Metal and I always had each other's backs, but in some vague way, we also felt that something was missing. So there were times when things were pretty tough, and we had to force ourselves to be like, we got this. But now we're still a duo, but we want to deliver our music because we love what we do. We needed to take some time off to reaffirm that feeling. And that's 100% true. And actually, speaking to that, it could be like with this podcast. There's been a couple times where we do the podcast, right? And I'm like, damn, I really don't want to do it today. But I'm like, no, got this. Why do I love doing this, right? It happens with everything. I'm sure people in this chat right now or people listening, you've had this happen probably with the job you love. You're like, fuck, and then you take that vacation and you're like, God damn, I can't wait to get back to work.
Right. And then 2 things especially, like where it's like, one, like with everything, when something becomes a job, like when you love something and it becomes a job, eventually it feels like a job, and you need to take that break in order to remember why you wanted to do it in the first place. And I think that's with everything, not even just music.
That is with everything, because that's how I've been feeling with music. That's why, like, all of a sudden stopped writing. I was like, what's going on? Why am I not writing music like I used to?
Right.
So,
Right.
I'm
And
like,
even
gotta get
listening
back
to
into it.
music, bro.
Yeah.
Even listening to music. I got burnt out on the styles of music that I listen to. Not to mention, I'm not even talking about playing it, just listening to it.
Yeah.
And she's been doing this since she was 13, right? Like
Yeah.
this has been her job, her main like purpose in like the public eye for the last 11 years or whatever.
Mhm.
So you know, it would be even more hardcore for her, you know, to feel that burnout eventually. Cause like what else, you know, she was a kid
Yeah.
when she started. Like this is the first time that she's been
Yeah.
like a true adult, and they've like put out an album and she's had, it seems like, a lot more input on it. And I just love to see that. And and I know that, like, you know, Moa probably has a lot of input on it also, but since she didn't do the interview, it's a lot easier to come at it from the perspective of Sue, who was actually doing the talking.
And let's be honest, Sue is Babymetal. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, yes, I know Moa's there, and you all know Moa's my favorite, but I mean, it's nothing without Sue. It really isn't.
Yeah,
Like,
she is definitely. If she left, I do not think that Babymetal could go on in its current form.
All right, welcome, Nix. Thank you, man, for
Hey.
showing up so last minute. Appreciate you being here, man. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on? Oh, and by the way, yeah, Team Moa, 100% Team Moa.
What do you feel about the new Babymetal music? Have you heard any of it yet?
I knew you were gonna hit me up on that, and the truth of the matter is, man, after the kind of fiasco that was the Palladium, I mean, my personal experience, and then being kind of disheartened with the way the Forum show went down, I kind of just fell away. I've listened to the new stuff, but I haven't put any real attention into it. I'm aware of it. I've seen a couple of them, but I've kind of just moved on, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Well, can you tell us about that? What happened? Can you give more detail why you turned off by that?
Well, okay. So
Putting you on the
we'll
spot
start-
right when you get in here.
That's cool. It's not like I've never told this story.
No, I'm messing with you.
So the Palladium show, we did the VIP, got there super early. I got there kind of like late morning, midday type of stuff. There was dudes that did the night before thing, were in line for a super long time. So fast forward, you're outside and they give you your little bag of VIP merch. And it was pretty underwhelming. So we finally get into the building, and we paid VIP. So we're going to be in first. Well, it turns out that there's 3 different VIPs. There's the VIP for the band, there's the VIP for the venue, and there was some other wonky ass VIP that if you stayed at some hotel that has an affiliation with the venue, you got early entry too. So, I mean, I'm literally probably like maybe the 20th, 30th person to come in. And by the time we got in, the front row was basically full from these other 2 stupid ass VIPs.
Oh.
So that was kind of a kick in the nuts. And then with I guess you were supposed to put buttons in the VIP bag, if I remember correctly, and not everybody got them. I ended up giving my buttons to another dude who was there longer than I did. I'm like, you know what, here, you can have the little can buttons. I'm like, it was just kind of a bad taste in my mouth. And then Hell Yeah opens up. I like Hell Yeah, but I know they did this shit on purpose. They were so loud, it was painful. Like where you could, it just sounded like you were listening to a jet engine. It was so ridiculous.
A lot of people were saying that about the Nemophila shows too.
Yeah, it seems. I didn't have that experience. Not in LA. It was actually pretty. It actually sounded really good. I was on the rail, but like so far stage right that there was a rigging tower right in front of me, but I didn't care. I could still see everything was fine.
Yeah.
But so the everything about that day, and then they're done, and then now we're waiting for that. Hell Yeah's done. We're waiting for the next part, and then the crowd was like surging really, really bad. It was like being at a freaking like death metal festival. There's so much surging and people pushing and doing dumb stuff.
Okay.
Some woman who was probably 5'2" was there with her 2 little 3 and 4-year-olds who were in cosplay on the floor. So I almost got in a couple of fights just trying to keep people from knocking into them. And before Babymetal even took the stage, I'm like, fuck this. I went up to the balcony and just kind of watched from up there. So some of it's on me, some of it's on the band. And then this was around the time that or shortly after that, was all the stuff with Yui and all this real secrecy, and no one's not really saying anything. And it was a weird time. Fast forward to the forum show. I was up high. I got seats, and the energy was really, really dead up there. And maybe shame on me for not knowing, but the fact that it wasn't the commie band I was expecting was kind of like the final straw for me. And I'm like, you know what? There's plenty of other stuff that's got my attention. I just kind of, and then they went quiet for so long, and then I just kind of like moved on.
Oh, wow, dude. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Like, that sucks that concert experience can do that, because that can happen, you know? I feel you on that. I've been to a concert where, like, it's just not so fun. I think, actually, to be more specific, it was Disturbed, but it was the singer that turned me off from the entire band. Just the way that he was, like, demanding a fucking mosh pit and then yelling at people. But the way he did it was just, like, weird. I'm like, fuck this band. I'm not listening. Like, it didn't come off as, like, a fun thing, you know? It came off as, like, this guy means what he's saying right now. It was kind of shitty. So
yeah, I gotta be honest, SJ. There was a couple of, you're talking about the pits and stuff like that. I mean, and how it was like a death metal festival. You kind of got me wanting to go and not wanting to go. I would have more been like, maybe that lady should have taken her kids up to the seats, instead of being down on the floor, with their 2 little kids in cosplay. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of metal in Babymetal, so I expect people to be jumping around. I expect people to be, knocking into each other every once in a while. So I don't know. I don't know how you prevent, if it's like an all ages show, for example, I don't know how you prevent like the 45-year-old metalheads that are listening to metal from like not knocking into little kids that are on the floor at a metal show, so.
Right. So just for clarity on that, shame on her. She had no business being down there with the kids for the reasons you're exactly saying. But the parent in me kind of kicks in, and there's a dude behind me that had his elbows up. So when anybody pushed in, his elbows went into my ribs. And I finally turned around and threatened his life. You elbow me one more time, motherfucker, I'm going to drop you. And then he had his arms down for the rest of the show. He didn't bug me. But yeah. It's all that surging, like just in the dead time between bands, all that surging and stuff, man. I'm too old for that shit. I was in pits with Celtic Frost and Exodus and crazy crap back in the 80s and 90s. So, I've cut my teeth on that stuff. But at 51, be up there with a beer in my hand watching a show. Yeah, believe it or not.
You look young, man. Look young for age. You do not look 51.
You do not look 51
at all.
But I also agree with
those are Zoom
that.
filters.
I'm 37, and I went to that Nemophila show at Gramercy, and I sat in a chair and I watched silently from the chair, and it was wonderful. That's what I want out of a concert at this point. Also,
you guys make me feel insane because I fucking love the mosh pits. I'm all about it. Like, I want to fucking rage. I'm ready to like let off steam and fucking just bash into people. I'm like all for it. That's why I was so sad.
And that's why that's why I feel like I would absolutely 100% like, even from the chairs, I want to see the moshing. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see people like extend and have fun from my seat. I don't need to be involved in the fun personally, but I want to see them having fun, So I always thought it was hard for like those, like I said, like those all ages concerts where you have people just from all different ages and different places and different needs. They're going there for different reasons, really, and it's like, it's just like a rough sort of, how are you going to make sure every single demographic is pleased at the same time?
Pi just said, I guess that's probably the reason why they recently announced safe areas for their concerts in the U.S. But I'm also with Nick's. Like, yeah, if you're a parent and you see the kids down there, like, for one, why is a parent bringing their kids to that show? Because I would never bring my 11-year-old to a concert. I'll wait until he's 16, and then I'll warn him and be like, hey, look we're probably gonna get knocked around a bit. So, like, you ready? Well, let's train for this day. Let's go to the gym. Let's work out. Just kidding.
Yeah, a little bit though. Like seriously, there is a regiment to it, right? Like you need to know what's going to happen if you are going to be down there. You need to know what's going to happen. You need to be able to be ready. Get your hands in front of your face. You kind of do one of these, right? Where you put your arms together and make sure nobody can broach that barrier that you've put up. And you've got to be aware that there might be people that are going to knock into you from behind also and push you forward, and you have to stand. It's almost like the way that you have to stand when you're on the floor. Like you have to have your center of gravity close enough to the ground so that if you get knocked from behind, you don't fall to the ground and get trampled. So there's like a learning curve almost.
Listen. A regular, like, normal mosh pit, like, you're not supposed to be elbowing each other either. Like, those hardcore mosh pits from back in the day are bullshit. Those are stupid. The people fucking throwing fists and shit, that is ridiculous. Like, that,
I always hated that.
I never went into those. I'm like, you guys are just trying to inflict pain on each other. No, it's supposed to be about running in circles and having a good time and, like, kind of just bumping into each other, not, like, trying to take each other out. That shit's ridiculous. Like, people that go in the pits and swinging fists and everything, I never got that. And I was huge into hardcore. And I'm like, I remember being on stage like, can we not knock somebody out, please?
And it's one thing when they're throwing arms, which like at the very, like, I don't like that in general, but like at least you could see it happening and stuff like that. When they start doing the spin kicks and they're kicking up to people's heads.
That's ridiculous.
And you're just like, dude, you are not a martial artist, bro. Like you may just kick someone in the head and knock them out. Please just don't do that.
Those are failed martial artists.
Well, that Exodus show I was talking about, it was here at a legendary place. It's gone on in Long Beach called Fender's Ballroom. I learned a couple of things that night. One, watch out for the assholes who go backwards. They go again. They're like swimming upstream with their elbows up. I took an elbow in the throat. That hurt. And this is what you need to teach your kid, Allan, about mosh pits. Wear high tops. Because it took me about 20 minutes to get my shoe back after I lost it. People were throwing around the goddamn venue.
That's what it's called.
That's a little funny, though. I might have a little bully in me because I might have laughed a little bit. But I'm sorry.
It's called slam dancing. That's right. That's what they called it. Fucking dumb. I don't know.
But you know what? Like I fucking really appreciated in the Nemophila concert that they had crowd surfing because that was like that's like the most sort of
that must have been nice. I wish
it's like the most toned down version, though like nobody's getting hurt doing crowd surfing, people unless somebody just drops somebody and then they go down head first. But most of the time everybody's really like polite about it. I'm like, yeah, we'll surf you to the front and then you got a security. Like I feel like it's safer, that's a safer way to celebrate the band.
Well, I just want to take a moment real quick, just introduce Nix one more time. He's from Maid News Network. So for anyone that just joined us, he's been on the podcast a couple times, man. Appreciate you joining us last minute. He's going to be talking about the Nemophila here in a second. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about Babymetal if you're just joining. Last little bit of thing I want to say about Babymetal is their album, it has been #1 on the Oricon charts, which congrats to them. So it's been staying up there. Yeah. Release date was on the 24th. I think it's been #1 since then or whatnot.
Oh, yeah. I did want to say one other thing about what she wrote in that article about Mirror Mirror, the song that just came out. The first thing she said was, if you listen to the beginning, it's pretty poppy. And I was like, wait, what? Because the beginning of that is that crazy prog riff that's like all out of like in its own like time or whatever. And the fact that Sue thought of that as poppy makes me kind of realize how metal she can be. Yeah,
That's true. I still Maya has been my favorite song so far. Out of the ones I've listened to, Maya's been like it's really well written. It's my favorite right now. I still have 2 more to go through. This last one I just listened to was so weird. It has EDM vibes and it has but off timing EDM vibes where they're just like doing unconventional beats underneath it. It's very different. If you're not used to that style of music, you're gonna have to listen to it a few times. Definitely gets you, draws you back.
Oh wait, I just want to read this comment real quick. Danger Mouse says, that in Japan they have specific areas for families and kids. You saw a fun little clip of little girls dressed as Babymetal doing a circle pit in their area. That's great. That's perfect. That's
awesome.
how it should always be.
That'd be funny to see a little kid's mosh pit. I'm not gonna lie.
Right? I would love that, bro. That would be so cool. A circle pit, perfect, you know?
Someone brought up a good point. We have Nick from Maid News Network here. We might as well have him take over Ryan's news section right now. You got any news for us about the maids? Any recent news you want to talk about?
Well, you're really doing me dirty today, dude. I was shopping and you come on the podcast. So I rushed home and now you're making me do your segments.
This is Allan's thing, man. He loves to put people on the spot. He doesn't want to give them he just wants them to feel awkward for a couple seconds before they talk.
And you caught me cheating on the maids today.
Wow, damn. By the way, go subscribe.
Real quick,
to
did we give a shout out to our friend that gifted all those subscriptions?
Let's give him another shout out. Makaluka, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, man. You always do that.
You're the man.
Nice.
And before he talks about the maids, make sure you subscribe to the Maid News Network because they talk all about Band-Maid all the time, 24/7. They're always posting stuff, keeping you updated. So if you're a huge Band-Maid fan, you should definitely be subscribed to that channel.
Hell
yeah. All right.
Right on, man. Hey, I appreciate that. So late last week, I guess it's Thursday, Friday. I should know this, but I don't. They started the Japanese tour. So Peter, they've had 3 shows so far at this stretch, this leg of the tour, and Peter has been doing nightly recaps on Maid News Network. He's going over the set list. He's sharing any photos from it, posting pictures that people are putting on Twitter. Because if you buy merch at the venue over a specific price, I think it's 2,500 yen. You get to select a poster. There's a US collage poster and then a group poster. Some of those mixed in are autographed. So people have been posting pictures of the autographed posters they got from their merch.
Sweet. I like that.
Yeah, they've been mixing up the sets too. See, I wish I'd have been prepared for this. I don't have it in front of me, but they're kind of like they did with the US. They're doing like 26 songs, 23 or 26 songs, and you're getting about 19 that are static, and then they're mixing in new stuff each night. What's that? BM for Life. Okay, Band-Maid has 23 song set, which include Ryan's favorite song, Cross. Yeah, Cross has been showing up every night, which is great. Really? I love that song. Yeah, every night.
Yeah, I like that song too, man. That's taking it old school.
That's Ryan's
and that's what they've been doing.
Right?
Last night they dusted off Moratorium. They hadn't done Moratorium for a while. That had been absolutely amazing.
Hey.
So you know what? I'm going to call you out right now, BM for Life. Give me some of the other songs that are rotating in and out. I know I saw YOLO in there. That wasn't in every set.
Dude, that is so cool. That is so cool. The fact that they keep doing this, because I just feel like so many bands, as they move on to their new albums, they almost want to like forget their old albums. You know, like even just it's not until like they become like legendary mode. You know, a lot of bands where they've gone through all of their albums and then decide, okay, we're going to go back and start playing our classics now again, you know, after, because most of the time when they release a new album, a band, they focus mostly on playing songs from that new album. And I feel like they play every era of Band-Maid whenever they go out there. It's so awesome.
Yeah, so they did this. This was an intentional thing. They even said early on, sorry about the headphones clipping. I don't have my green screen up. But they had said, Konami had said that they were dusting off some other stuff. They were sharpening things they hadn't done in quite a while. And looking at the chat, yeah, Awkward was one. That one blew me away. They did Awkward the first night. Secret My Lips has made it back in there. Blooming has been in there once. Wonderland, Black Hole. You're seeing it. I'm reading the stuff from the chat. So, but yeah, they're mixing it up every night. It's a cool mix of stuff. I haven't seen my favorite song yet, warning. But so far, and everything I've seen, they're absolutely killing it. All 3 shows have been sold out. So they're kind of marching their way around right now. They're up north, and I know they're going to finish up north. They're going to do some stuff in the middle. And then for Peter's section in July, I think they're going down to the south and doing Osaka, Kyoto, and the stuff down there.
There's only one other band that I've ever seen that switches up their set a lot when they would play live, and that was Slayer. That's the only band I could think of right now. That's the only band.
And you know
Crazy.
what? With Slayer, like by the time you were old enough to like listen to them, really, they had already gotten through their prime years and become that legendary kind of
Yeah,
status.
that's true.
So they were
That's
already
true.
kind of playing their classics at that point.
Yeah, that's
This is
very
why
good
I hate you, because I saw them on the Rain and Blood tour. That's
Oh.
how old. That's how old I am.
I would have loved that. The dude, don't hate it for that. Like that is awesome. I would be able to. I want to be able to say that too. I
Right,
can't.
no, I got you.
Yeah.
I got to see Cliff Burton before he died on Master of Puppets. You know, those are my claim to fame.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
my
That's-
God! See, now we're
that's
talking.
amazing.
See, you've seen things that we'll never ever get to see. You
When
know?
did
did
he
you see
pass?
Guns N' Roses in their first run?
Dude, I'm going to really blow your mind now. So years ago, in the early 80s, Los Angeles had something called LA Street Scene, and they would shut off most of downtown and set up stages, and they'd have all kinds of different stuff, different bands doing different genres. And my buddy and I were at the rock stage, and this was like right when Poison's Look What the Cat Dragged In came out.
Mhm.
So we went down to go see that, and him and I are walking around, and we walk past this like panel van that's just sitting by the side of the stage. And there's some dude with curly hair and a top hat. And we're like, who the fuck is this dude wearing a top hat?
Like, who does he think he is?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So we
That's
saw
great.
Guns N' Roses like back when they were still doing like the Sunset Strip stuff before any
Yeah.
it was absolutely before Appetite came out. No one heard of them. This is like 80.
Right. That's
Oh,
wow. That's
shit.
crazy, bro. That's like 5 years before they released their first album.
Wow.
84, 85, something like that. And whenever, like I said, it was right after or right around the time Look What the Cat Dragged In came out. And it was, like I said, way before Appetite, couple of years at least.
That's really cool, man. Like that's an era that I feel like most people don't even realize existed with Guns N' Roses. You know, everybody knows from when they came out with Appetite. Like they had to be a band that played at shows before that for several years.
Brutus.
I saw Bon Jovi open for Rat.
Wow. They definitely went past that, I think, right? Pretty much. They had like a bunch of hits after in that time era, right?
Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi.
Oh,
It was
right.
7,800. So that was 7,800 Fahrenheit. So you're talking second album. So Tokyo Road, In and Out of Love, that stuff. You know,
wow.
before, and then was it not New? What's one after? Oh, Slippery When Wet is the one that blew him up. So it was the album before.
Mr. Jones says
Jersey Legends.
Misa tweeted about being hungover. Which show was that?
So
Isn't she usually?
the second night though? You could see it.
Really?
If you go to a Maid News Network and look at Peter. He's calling him Tattoo. It's
Maid News
I don't even know what
Network.
Tattoo stands for, but it's basically him recapping the tour shows. And he's done 3. The second one, he's got photos in there, and she just looks a little glazed,
Oh, really?
little faded.
Oh,
Yeah.
Masters and Princesses.
Let's see. That's awesome. He put pictures in here. Oh, here.
Yeah,
we go.
no, the second one, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. They are hugging. So he's been to all the shows so far in Japan, or
No, he's just been tour updates. It's like we've got people telling me what Tattoo stands for. It's 10th anniversary tour update. Thank you, Michael.
awesome. So what's been one of the biggest standout moments from the recaps that you guys talked about?
Honestly, dude, it's been the old stuff finding its way into the set. Just really cool stuff, man. Like I've been going for years now, so I've seen stuff that a lot of the newer fans haven't. The Moratorium, Secret My Lips, that stuff live, like Moratorium live, rips the roof off the place.
I want to see.
It is so good live.
Me too. That's a heavy one.
Wait,
man. I like
didn't
that.
they play Moratorium in the U.S. once?
I've seen it like this last tour, maybe, but
This last
probably
tour, I
was
thought they
one
played
gig.
once.
But it wasn't one that I was at.
I think I was
don't
at
think.
the one where they played it.
I
but
don't think I saw them play it. I don't think
know.
so.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
might
I
be
can't remember. I always forget that. I'm bad with names already. So
Seize the Day says
Yeah.
it happened in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Sounds
That's
about
right.
right.
Eric saw it. I didn't see it. That's where I heard it from because Eric mentioned Moratorium being one of his favorites that he saw live.
Phoenix would have been badass. It was like 250 people.
Yeah.
That was a tiny gig.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder why it was a tinier gig in Phoenix. Is there any other news with Band-Maid?
You know, as of right now, it's just that tour, and we're seeing how it's
tour.
playing out. And now that they're out on their own, they're getting their feet wet. They've got their sea legs for this 10th anniversary tour and how it's going out. We're almost in April now. It's April. I want to say it's the 26th is when the Tokyo Garden Theater and US tour documentary come out. So if you haven't bought that, go ahead and grab that. I certainly bought it. I'm waiting for it to come in.
I did see it. I did see Moratorium. Thank you, Lord of Order. I knew it. I was like, I remember hearing that. I thought I heard Moratorium. So they played in New York and Boston. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thanks, chat.
I'm glad they didn't play it in Dallas because I just said I didn't see it and I was in Dallas. So I knew they didn't play it in LA.
Yeah, I was about to be embarrassed too.
Well, after seeing like all the shows, like it's all mumbled. If you play, I'll be like, oh yeah, that song. I'm so bad with the names, except for on Unseen World. Those ones I'm pretty good about the names and World Domination, but the other ones I always forget the names of them.
Yeah, I always find it easier to remember names of songs that came out like while you're actively waiting for the album to come out. You know, like because you're checking stuff before it happens. And when you go back and you listen to stuff that's already happened, it's way harder for me to retain the information of like the names of the songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Paul 247 TO says April 1st they're playing Knotfest, which so it'll be interesting to see if they do anything on stage for April 1st. Or if we get anything for April 1st. They went hard. Obviously they did the Secret Michael Lips, and then the next year we get a whole album behind it. That's a hard one to top. It's been not a ton going on since that stuff. I know they've done at least one other thing. Someone's going to correct me on what that was. And Tabo says, what the very first, when COVID kicked off and all of their tour stuff got shut down, the first time they did a live stream, they basically did it through somebody's iPhone, like in a rehearsal space. And the audio was really, really crappy, but it was when they were supposed to play Knotfest that got canceled. So they did like the first minute, like up to the vocals of Duality, which is pretty damn cool. If you haven't seen they did a really good job covering Duality.
Do you think they'll do a Slipknot cover at Knotfest?
They might. I could see them doing Duality just for shits and giggles. But I've always wondered, what do bands think of that? If do headliners want opening acts to be playing their stuff? I wonder what's that dynamic like. That's
a good point. Yeah, I've always wondered that too because, I mean, this is not the same, but I remember one time we were playing a show, and there was a band that knew that we covered a song. We had a cover of a certain song, and they went and played it. They were before us, and they played the song that they knew we had in our set list as a cover at the time.
That's a dick move.
And yeah, we were pissed. We were young too, so we took it way worse. So they played it right before us, and we were pretty pissed. But I don't know if it's the same kind of feeling if it's like the actual band and their song. I don't know how that would be taken, if that would be disrespectful or would they honor it or take it in a good way. I feel like
they would probably appreciate that they're fans and that they took the time to learn and play.
If it's Megadeth, he's gonna get pissed. But
some people are just douchebags. But I wouldn't do it as a band. I don't think if I were in a band, would I play a song that I thought like a headliner was going to play later in the show? Maybe if it was it would be. I feel like it would be even more appreciative if they played a song that was like a B-side that they never play live.
Yes.
Because then it's like, okay, now you're representing us and you're showing support for us, but we're not going to play this song 2 hours later.
Right. Yeah. If you're the opening band for Metallica and you come out play Master of Puppets, you need to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Like that's a little weird. But if they come out and they play like, the what's a good choice for a song from Metallica that they never play live? Like
Trapped Under Ice, because
perfect.
That's one of my favorite Metallica songs. It's so funny that you guys
perfect.
That.
Is it that's the one they hate? No, Escape is the one that they hate. One of the songs they absolutely hate. I think it's Escape.
Trapped Under Ice is one of my favorite.
I don't even know what
songs.
song is Escape.
It's on Ride the Lightning.
Is it? What track is that? There's only like 8 songs on that album, isn't there?
I think it's number 2.
Oh,
Well,
See, it's number 2. If you're looking at an album, it's number 2 on one of the sides.
oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, go ahead, play it because I don't even remember it.
Well, speaking of Band-Maid, Haruka did from Asterism did 3 Band-Maid covers, and she also has a solo channel where she has a bunch of shorts and snippets going up there. So doing like Super Mario Brothers, From Man with a Mission, Trivium, The Oral Cigarettes. So I didn't even know she had this. So it just looks like some shorts, but she did Band-Maid Unleash, Sense, Choose Me. Let's check out a clip of one of these. Let me turn on.
Cool.
Oh. That's what reminds me of what I do with my shorts.
I love how she played that, actually. I
Yeah.
I love the little sort of like cutoffs at the end of a lot of those notes.
Mhm.
You know, there's like that second of silence before she goes back into it while she's doing the lyric parts. Very cool.
It's so fun to do vocals on guitar. It really is. It's like a whole other thing. So, but that's really cool. So she launched it with actual Band-Maid songs, and then after that, she's just been coming out with a bunch of them. It's a fun thing to do, you know. Just doing like little vocal parts of it, and it makes you understand those vocals a lot more. And then she's doing vocals on this new EP that's coming out, so I thought that was interesting to see that she's doing this, you know. I think it actually helps a lot as a vocalist develop your melody skills, you know, to kind of imitate it on guitar, especially if you're coming from doing instruments into doing vocals afterwards. That was interesting.
Is Halka actually doing the vocals on that, or just there's someone else singing?
On the new EP, she's doing vocals. She's going to be doing them. Yeah. So she's done a couple of them with that other singer. I forgot his name. She's done a little bit here and there. So it's going to be interesting to see an EP with her doing it. She mentioned in an article she's excited to start doing it and stuff. So can't wait to hear it. Now, the main reason we brought you on here today, Nix, the LA show, Nemophila, were your eardrums plummeted? Were they blown out during that show?
Oh man, I was good. Like I said earlier, I was up on the rail, but I was like far stage right. Like if I was, I could look directly at Saki, but there was like one of those like light riggings or sound rigging things, structures right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But the sound was fine. They sounded good. I'm not gonna lie, it smelled like the third day of an anime convention up front. Some pretty funky people up there.
What does that smell like?
Oh, bro.
So the listeners have some idea what the smell.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't exceptionally, it was warm, but it wasn't like crazy hot.
Yeah.
It was, there was a little ripe up front, but we suffer for our art. It was a good
suffer
set.
for art.
I like that.
So what
do
he's
suffer
saying
for
is,
art.
please take a shower before going to these shows, okay, guys?
Yeah, I got to be honest though. You walk into one of these places. How many people were at that LA show? What is that? Was that a bigger venue?
So that was an Echoplex. Echoplex holds 750, 800, but it didn't sell out. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't know how, honestly, I don't know, because I was up front. I don't know how deep it was. It was pretty close to full, but I don't know if it was an actual sellout or not.
So when I looked up at the one for New York, it was also said that it wasn't a sellout. There were still tickets available beforehand. But the line to get into the building wrapped around the entire place. So I couldn't believe that it wasn't actually a sellout. But I'll tell you what, man, these places smell even with nobody in them. Like that's where I was going with that.
Right.
After just years of all of these smelly ass metalheads, I'm including myself in that. Don't worry, other metalheads.
I was about to say with a name like Captain Dusty Farce, I'm assuming you contributed to that funky smelling people.
Right, but like you walk into these there's not enough bleach in the world to make them smell good ever again.
Now, all you got to do is you go down to CVS, you get 2 cans of Axe spray and just wipe the line out as they're going in.
Yeah.
One of these bad boys right here.
There you go.
A shower on the go.
No, I keep that stuff. That's part of my survival kit for Dawn Patrol. I keep some stuff like that just to freshen up before I go in. And I gotta take the shine off the head too,
Yeah.
messing up all the fan cams.
So as far as sound, how did it go? What were your favorite songs?
You know what? I got everything I expected. I kind of wish Rollin' Rollin' wasn't in the medley, but I get it. They gave Mayu a nice little break. But having never heard it live, Night Flight was so much fun, dude, to do the dance with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really good.
That was a blast. Yeah, I think that was the most fun.
Yeah, that was really good. It's weird, like, from going from like Band-Maid changes the setup, they kept the same set, I believe, throughout everything. So you probably got the Trooper also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think about that?
They did a good job with that, and everybody was doing. Those of us who know all the lyrics, there's a couple of people around me that were actually singing the song while they were doing the vocal lines on guitar, and of course everybody's doing the whoa.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I wanted to hear Hypnosis so bad. So when I heard it in the medley, I was like,
yeah.
I was so sad. That's our next cover, Dakota cover, and I'm like, oh, I wanted it. It's one of my favorite songs. It got Style. Style and Hypnosis are like my two favorite Nemophila songs. They're just so good. Yeah, I like them. You don't like Style? What? You don't like it? Why don't you like it?
It was cool live. It's a little too rappy for me.
Style's got a bit of that Limp Bizkit flair to it.
Fuck yeah, it does. Okay. Hell yeah.
It's grown on me. I will say that. Unlike, everybody knows my Start Over take. Start Over has never really grown on me. I've softened to it, but Style has actually grown on me. But Hypnosis live would be amazing. That was another one that I'm like, I heard that in the middle and I'm like, oh,
I was a little bummed about that too. Yeah. There was a couple of songs in there that I thought they would actually play the full thing of, because I just, like, in my mind, it's like these are their top songs or whatever. Hypnosis was one of them for me also. But I thought Style sounded fantastic, and Style was not my favorite song. Style was far from my favorite Nemophila song before I saw it live, and now it's one of my favorite Nemophila songs because they just took this, like, listen, that song, that concert was heavy as fuck, bro. It was one of the heaviest concerts I've ever gone to. I've seen just a bajillion death metal bands, bro, and this was as death metal gets. The way that they have their instruments set up and how loud it is and how brutal it sounds. So when Style came up, it was kind of like a nice reprieve, I was like, okay, we get to take it down for a notch here, hear a little bit of melody. I think, and she still sounded really good.
See, for me, Style's such a unique song, the way that they do it. Yeah, it has new metal vibes, but like when that solo comes in, like all like staggering, just the way that it's done, it's so masterful. I think it's one of their best written songs, just the way it's done, because it's so unique, super catchy, and you're just like, you can't really tell where it's going. But I can see why the rap would turn some people off. I'm a secret rap fan, so like I appreciate it. I like the mix of it, of all that stuff. So, but then again,
the chorus is super tasty, man.
Yeah.
And the guitar riff is still brutal during that chorus too. I love the second verse. That's my favorite part of that song, where it's like, because the first verse she's rapping, but she's rapping over that kind of like almost like Linkin Park acoustic style. Like I don't even know what you call it. It's not really a riff. It's like a boo doo doo, which she's rapping over in the first one. But then in the second one, because they have already gone into the distortion, that clean is out, and they're just doing this kind of like dun while she's rapping over that, and I love that part.
Yeah. Well, and then Nemophila just came out with this music video I got shown on here. They just covered Walk by the Foo Fighters. Have you guys checked that song out yet?
You know what? I saw that come up, but I have not watched it yet.
Yeah.
I've just been super busy. I recorded a video yesterday and I finished editing this morning. I just haven't gotten around to watching it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to check it out with the band tonight. I haven't heard it yet. So, now I've seen the video, but I haven't heard it yet. I thought I would mention that to you guys if you guys didn't know. I thought it was cool that they still dropped something in the middle of their like touring and stuff. So that was cool. She has like a whole beard on and everything. She looks so silly. I love Nemophila, man. They're like one up there. I keep telling everyone they're gonna take Max von Hormone's place because Max von Hormone can't put out fucking music anymore. So like I'll still love Max von Hormone. It's still one of my favorites, but if you're not putting out music, it's like time to move on.
Nemophila is one of the coolest bands in the world right now. I will fight anybody that doesn't say that.
Let me go obsess over another band that's doing shit currently, you know? But
you know, yeah, Nemo's up there for me. Not my probably top 5, but I'll tell you right now, the one who's never be number 1. Band-Maid's always gonna be number 1. But if anybody could dethrone Aldius, and like with you and Maximum the Hormone, Aldius has just been on hiatus for so damn long.
Yeah.
It's these guys right here. Can we see that?
Oh yeah,
It's
I can't see it. What's the name? I wanted to talk to. I was going to ask you about them actually today. But before we go to talk about them, anything else about the Nemophila concert you want to mention to anybody?
No, maybe in comparison, because when you and I saw them at the Whiskey, one, I think they were sharper than they were at the Whiskey, and the crowd was better this time.
Yes.
It was just that's a band crowd feedback loop cannot be underrated, man. It's our responsibility to go nuts, and it's their responsibility to make us go nuts. And if one of them falls apart on their side, that it breaks the whole thing up. It doesn't work. And the Whiskey was kind of like that. And I know that's kind of spicy for a lot of people. No, the Whiskey show was great. I'm like, dude, I was in the back of the room, and after 2 rows back, the crowd was dead. Just was.
But there was also some like a pandemic still happening with that, right?
The Dallas.
We were mask free.
See,
weren't you not allowed to like do certain things?
We weren't allowed to do it. We couldn't mosh. Remember? We got yelled at. We couldn't. But
that's a Whiskey policy. That's not a band thing or a COVID thing. That's just you don't mosh at the Whiskey.
I gotta say though, Dallas and Whiskey was better than Dallas. Dallas was okay, but because the sound was so bad, that's why I like the Whiskey better, because they put the bass in to the point where it was like distorting. And it was just like, this is crazy. I don't care. I know
I had a broken fucking speaker, bro.
A lot of people are saying it was fine, and I'm like, you guys are nuts. Like, to me, it was not fine. I guess some people's eardrums are already gone, so maybe it was good volume for them. But yeah, no,
New York was perfect, guys. I just got to throw that out. New York was perfect. I fully admit it was one of the loudest shows I've ever been to. Okay.
Yeah.
But I am not saying that as a negative. It was super cool. Like, I felt like I was watching the heaviest band that I'd ever seen before. And on that note, I met one of our awesome subscribers who is actually in the chat right now, Mr. David. Are you still here, David? David Campbell II.
Let's do that giveaway. We'll do that right now.
And we hung out, and that's what I'm bringing up right now. So David was kind enough to purchase a giveaway for you guys out there. We've got a Nemophila hats and a Nemophila signed postcard. Ooh. Both really cool things. I love this postcard. It looks cool. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's that they're so hot. Yeah. That also helps my enjoyment of Nemophila, by the way. Like, seeing them up close, I was just like, why are they all so freaking pretty? This is nuts. While they shred, you know? But yeah, so we're going to give this away for you guys. Thank you, David.
All right, so if you're a member and a Patreon supporter, you're entered in twice, all right? If you're on any of them, you're entered in. But Nick, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Just one last thing about the LA show. Hazuki's amp shit the bed, like, during the medley stuff. So most of the Trooper, she wasn't there. So Saki was carrying the whole thing. Her and wait, give me a second. Shit, the bass player.
Haraguchi.
I don't remember her name.
Haraguchi.
That's it. Haraguchi-san. They carried that while her amp was down for a while. I mean, it was a good chunk of that medley, and they still knocked it out and did a really good job. So props to them for working through that. And then they finally the crew came and got her amp back up. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just love how happy they are, man. Like, especially Haraguchi-san. Like, she makes me feel so good. Like, I just love watching her play. Like, it's such an authentic smile. Like, I don't know. You just feel it. You feel it with all of them, but with her specifically, I just love watching her play. I was like, I wish
she's the Akane, or for the Aldius fans, she's the Toki. She's just that vibrant personality who's loving life.
I want to feel that good all the time. Whatever she's feeling right now, you know? It's just crazy. Every time I see her, even in music videos, I used to say the same thing. Like I was like, man, she's so happy. There's one video I think where she was sad, and I was like, oh, something's wrong with her. I can't remember which video it was, but like in every video, she's always smiling too. But
Life, probably. I mean, they're all crying in life. I want to say though, because some people are saying, like, depending on where you're positioned in the venue, you could only hear certain instruments. Like, yeah, I mean, that happens, man. Like, I was directly down the middle of the Nemophila concert. I could hear everything exactly perfect. Like Hazuki's guitar and Saki's guitar sounded like they were at the perfect volume. I didn't have any struggle to hear any of the instruments by themselves. And I think it was because I was like right smack dab directly in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, Ryan's wife and son, like they said, it still was kind of the same. Like it was just crackling and clipping when they went to the back. So I don't know, but it's all. I
think
good.
You had a broken speaker, man. There had to have been a broken speaker there.
It doesn't matter. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm glad I went. I just wish I went more than just one. I really wish I went to LA. I really do. I should have. Should just went to LA one. LA shows never disappoint me. Or up in the Northeast. I was like, this is my first time going to like one in Dallas, and like every time I go to a Dallas show of something, something always goes wrong. Every time, even when I used to play shows there, something always goes wrong. I'm like, I don't know what happens in Dallas, but shit just breaks all the time.
And I also wanted to point out my son's favorite thing about the concert. He said he absolutely loved that Mayu stood in the stance that she was in the whole time while she kept headbanging. I don't know if she did this at your shows, but she like basically spreads her legs as far out as they could go and like crouches down till she's like they're horizontal, like her knees are horizontal, and then she just headbangs from that position like a freaking demon the whole time. Yeah. And my kid was just watching her, just like floored, like, how does she stay in that position the whole time? I was like, because she's a fucking metal creature, bro. That's just how she goes.
And she's like 4'10", so when she does that, she's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see who's gonna win this signed hat and not signed hat and signed postcard. Who will be the lucky winner? And then if you do win, just hit me up on Discord or Champ on Discord. Probably me. I'll answer faster than Champ, and then I'll let them know that you messaged me. And then we can get it shipped out to you. Here we go. Woo! Drum roll. Who is going to win? I'm not going to let anyone see the screen. They're just going to look at Champ. Ooh, I have a winner here. Are you guys ready to hear who the winner is? The last name is Bell. First name, Gordon Bell. Congrats,
Gordon
man.
Bell.
If you're in the chat, let us know. If you watch this later, let us know.
Yeah.
If you don't collect it by next Sunday, then we'll roll and choose a new winner. So you have until next Sunday to claim this prize, Gordon Bell. And congratulations, man. But furthermore, thank you guys all so much for the support. We really appreciate it. And I want to bring
especially you, David, who purchased this for us. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, David, so much. And we're going to be ramping up the production on the Guys and Guys podcast a lot more. So all the support from you guys has meant a lot. And we're going to be releasing some new news about some big changes with the Guys and Guys podcast. We can't wait to tell you guys about it. It will be announced on May 1st. We have some exciting things happening where I can't mention yet, but trust me, it's good, okay? So, and this is all thanks to you guys and your support, and we cannot wait to introduce it. There's going to be a lot more content coming your guys' way on Japanese music news, a lot more interviews and stuff like that. So that's all I can say right now, but May 1st, you get the rest of the details.
We bought Sony Records.
Yeah, we bought Sony Records, and we told them to fuck off.
And then we canceled it. We bought it, and then we closed it down.
We bought it, closed it down. Oh, man. Yeah, trust me, I'll probably fucking leak something by May. You're right. No, I won't. No,
we know, Allan.
I can't leak anything on this.
We'll see.
All right. Sai Sega. We're going to talk about them. I have listened to this band. I've heard a couple songs. I'm not sure yet. I like them, but I'm not 100% sold yet. But go ahead. I'm going to let you talk on it, Nix.
Just yesterday, all 3 of their CDs came in, and it wasn't cheap because of freaking proxy services. But nothing out there right now has gotten me excited like these guys have. It's not flashy. It's not intricate. It's not complicated. It's just good, heavy, kind of a little bit of metalcore, but they do fantastic ballady mid-tempo stuff. And the singer, Reagan, she has so much range. She can do...
she has a really crazy range.
Crazy range. I mean, hate me for it, but way better than Mayu.
Yeah.
She just has more.
I hate you.
I hate you. Yeah.
Her voice is just thicker. She can do cleans. She can put a little rasp in it, and then she can go full blown death metal. Hades greater than Sisega. Now you're smoking crack, Michael.
Shots fired.
I've got to hear this band. You're propping them up real hard right now, SJ.
I've heard Sisega, and I'm sorry, I love Nemophila way more, just because I like their musical writing better. But I agree, her voice is amazing. She has.
Mayu's my favorite singer right now. I think out of everybody in the world.
She's an amazing singer, but Maya's just so unique, though. That's why I like Mayu. It's not about her ability; it's about how unique her vocals are. But Sisega, I agree, is the same though. Very unique vocalist, also. So there's that.
She's it's so Champ. If you go check them out, start with
give me a song where I could hear like her do her metal scream and clean vocals.
So that's going to be Go On.
Go on. You got it.
Or Jumble. Jumble's Go On's an older ones from the first album, and Jumble is from the new album. Both of those are
all right, I'm gonna go with Jumble then because I'd like to see what they're doing right now first.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's only a 2-year gap. I mean, it's 21, 22, and 23 are the releases for the album. So it's not a huge gap.
So that's like that's nothing. Okay, they're basically still in the same era right now.
Yeah. Reagan's been around for a while. The singer, she used to be in a band called Zetai Club, and when they broke up, she moved on and then started this one with some new people. I don't know. I was never a Zetai Club person, so I don't know the ins and outs of that. I just know that's where she comes from. I'm still learning about them, but just super impressed and grabbed my attention almost from the first song. Super good stuff.
Cool. Well, you got me amped to hear it, man.
I can't remember which song I've heard. I've reacted to their song a couple times. I can't remember which one it was.
You were really high on them too, Allan. Like after you heard them the first time, you came into our chat and you were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't go back though. I'll just. I'll make the band listen to some today.
The good thing about them too is they have several videos, but also whether it's, I don't think it's official or not, but all of their stuff is on YouTube. Like they'll put up the album logo and then you'll get the full song. So you can listen to their entire catalog on YouTube. And some of their slower, I'm looking for the one right now that jumps out at me as being a really good slower song. Persona. Persona's a really good song too, as far as mid-tempo goes.
Yeah.
And then there's weird shit like Empty 666. That's just a weird ass song.
I like weird. Weird is a big for me at this point. I've heard a lot of normal music in my life, so if you don't have any weird in there, I probably won't listen to you.
That's my thing too. It has to have like some kind of progressive kind of feel, but still catchy. A little bit of everything. Somebody mentioned Merging Moon. That singer has a really good vocal range for sure. Well, if you guys need a new Japanese band, check out Sisega. If you haven't, go check them out. I think it's a good one, especially if you like Nemophila. I think you'll enjoy Sisega. Actually, not that they're the same thing, but they're have that kind of elements of metal and stuff in it, and it's really good. It's really good.
Nowhere near the same technicality, but as far as heavy goes, at least on par.
Yeah.
Cool. I need a little more metalcore in my life, man. I used to listen to so much metalcore in all those bands. I don't know. I'm not listening to All That Remains anymore. You know what I mean? So like, let's get some new stuff out here.
Now a song I kind of skipped over and I listened to it, and it was, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, Champ, did you? Dive in Your Faith by Fear and
Unfortunately,
Loathing in
no,
Las
I
Vegas.
was. It took too long to get home.
This song was much better than I thought it was, and for some reason I thought this band was much bigger. And I mean, they're still pretty big over in Japan, I believe. But have you listened to Fear and Loathing Las Vegas, Nix?
No, you know what? That's one of those ones that comes up all the time, like oral cigarettes, but I've
Yeah.
just never gotten around to hearing it.
Yeah, it's very interesting in this new song. I have not been a fan of this band. I'm hit and miss. Either I like really love it or I don't. Normally when they add in the heavier riffs, I like a lot. But the new song I think is worth a check out for you guys if you guys haven't heard it yet. They're pretty good. What's this Hades band you guys are talking about in the chat?
Yeah,
So
people are
okay.
talking about them a lot lately too.
So they have one video out right now, and
I think I found is this them right here? Oh yeah, somebody was mentioning about this. It's
so we're kind of we're actually Eminem. We're kind of big on them, and that video has a lot of the hallmarks of something like Thrill does. It's kind of like, okay, I see what you guys are doing here. This is really interesting. Peter just saw him live and fell in love so much to the point now, if you look at any of his videos, he's got the Hades towel in the background now over some of the Band-Maid stuff. So he's
what?
He's cheating a little bit on the maids. He's a polygamist at this point.
This is Maid News Network, not Maid News Network plus Hades.
Gonna move to Utah.
Move to Utah.
I'm wearing a Reno shirt, so I can't talk too much trash.
Yeah, so I did hear about this band, and you guys posted about them.
Holy crap, that looks just like Thrill.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video. You're absolutely right.
I thought you were gonna bring up this band and not Sega. Actually, when I was mentioning it, this is the one that I thought you were gonna mention because I saw it in your guys' chat.
Yeah, we've been like I said, Peter went and saw them live and was like really blown away from them because they're at their point in the career that Band-Maid was in like 13, early 14, where you go see them in a club and they come out after the show and they hang out and they're selling their merch and they're talking to you. So,
oh, we lost him.
But they have that stage presence and personality. So am I gone? Okay.
Can you repeat that part again?
Peter's real high on them right now, especially because he just went and saw them live.
Can you repeat that last thing you
said?
So
they are. Okay, so Peter went and saw them live, and they're at a point where Band-Maid was in 2013, 2014, where after they do their set, they go to the merch table, they come out on the floor, you get to meet them, you get to talk to them, do the selfies, that type of stuff. So they're doing that, growing the fan base type of thing from a grassroots point, like Band-Maid did in 13, 14. And that parallel plus the parallel of the video, the song is good. It's not a great song, but some bands you hear and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of potential here, especially in the way their personalities come across in the band, in the video. So I think we're going to keep a real close eye on them, and we'll see where it goes. There's a lot of potential there.
Are they
together? But
are they more rock or like metal?
No, they're definitely like in the like a new beginning, brand new Maid era as far as what their style is. It's got a little heaviness to it. They've moved away from the pop of like Made in Japan type of stuff, but we're not at world. Actually, it's probably creeping up on world domination if I'm being honest.
Okay, so it's like hard rock.
Yeah,
hard rock with a little punk in there. Any punk feel?
No, I think I would say it's probably more hard rock with just whispers of metal here and there.
Cool. I could get into that, man. That sounds like Guns N' Roses to me.
Man, it better be good. I don't know. Band-Maid's got my hard rock soul already taken.
I've got room. I've got room for several.
I don't. Band-Maid is taking up way too much of it. It's like so many songs. No, I was kidding. I'm definitely down to check it out. I'm gonna throw it on the band reaction list for later tonight.
It's also a really cool
to
video
check out.
That is nothing.
Fami, are you into Love Bites by any chance, Nix?
Not a big power metal guy. I mean, I respect them. I've been a Harupi fan back from her Destros days. I've always loved her drumming. But it's same thing with Unlucky Morpheus. Such a talented band, and but I can only take so much of the 16th notes with double bass going on forever, and I really don't like the deep, heavy vibrato that you get with like a Fuki or a Love Bites. more so the Fuki, but I totally respect the talent.
You know, Ryan said the same thing, and then he listened to Doll's Box and listened to Fuki in there and was like, "This is the Fuki that I want to hear." And he came back and he started to like Unlucky Morpheus a lot more after that. I actually just heard Doll's Box for the first time this week.
Oh man, what do you think of that?
I was, you know, I know people have probably told me this before, but it wasn't until like halfway through the video where I was like, is that the drummer from Gatrick Spin? And then they were like, yeah, that's all of Gatrick Spin and Fuki. And I was like, oh shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I thought it was really good, and it was really interesting to hear Fuki do more of like a hard rock style rather than that like very heavy vibrato traditional Japanese with like a little bit of power metal sound in it. If you haven't listened to Doll's Box, I would absolutely suggest that you check that out.
Dude, I was an early adopter. I had the first album not too long after it came. So I've been doing this Japanese stuff since like 2013. And that was one of those certainly within the first 10 bands that I found. That whole first album is perfection. The entire thing is on YouTube.
Really?
Every song has a video. Oh yeah, the entire album's on there. Everyone has a video. And the song Doll's Box, it's the closer song. It is a perfect ballad, and the video is the behind the scenes of them shooting all the other videos and the recording of the album. So you get the, you know, we're happy, we're tired, we're sad, we're cold. It's very much just go watch that one. Watch the song Doll's Box. It's amazing.
I'm gonna go check out the whole album on Twitch. Well, because it's Victor Entertainment, so I get blocked. But I really wish this band didn't like. Are they gonna? Do you think they'll ever come back? Because I really think this is, in my opinion, I like way better than Unlucky Morpheus. I love Unlucky Morpheus. They're like a good band. I like them, but I'm like you. I can listen to a few songs and I'm done. Same thing with Love Bites. I can listen to a few songs and I'm done. But Doll's Box was a whole other thing. I was like, when I heard this song where they're like singing like in front of the guys or whatever, I was like blown away. I think it's called Take My Was it Take My Chance?
Take My Chance. Yeah. Where they come out dressed like idols and then they just smoke them. Yeah, it was fucking phenomenal. It was so good. And another band I wish I dug deeper into, but I guess I'm going to. I'm just gonna listen to that album.
So I've only heard the one song from them. I don't even remember what it was called, to tell you the truth, but it was really good. Unlucky Morpheus is one of my favorites. I hope you guys are very wrong about them going back and doing Doll's Box instead, because
Eric
Unlucky Morpheus to me is like one of the best bands in the world right now. Like I put them top 5.
So if you look at what Fuki's done traditionally over her career, she is at her core, she's a power metal girl. And of all the other iterations of bands that she's been in, by far, Unlucky Morpheus is what she wants to do. And it's apparent. I just watched, what is it? Something with sword in the title. It's a new song.
Oh shit.
I can't wait we just covered Welcome to Valhalla. It's almost done. Can't wait to release it.
I don't remember. Night of
something like that. I watched a reactor watch that video, and I'm like, that's a really good song, but it's power metal. I can't do it. I can't listen to a lot of that. But what Jill brings to that band takes them to that next level, and I don't see them not continuing to do that. Jill is amazing.
Yeah, yes, she is. I mean, hey, if she's loving doing Unlucky Morpheus, then shout out to her. I just loved Doll Box so much. I really did. And I was hoping
the thing about Unlucky Morpheus to me that like makes them special though is the gothic classical sound that comes with them, you know? And yes, what's the violinist's name?
Say it again.
What?
Jill,
right.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She brings a lot to the table, but the guitarists are just as much in that sort of classical gothic sound also, and bringing that to metal is something that I always wanted to hear. And there are bands that have done that in the past that I think
it's like neoclassical.
Neoclassical that have like approached it being really good, but fall short for me. Whereas I think Unlucky Morpheus is the first band that I've listened to that I felt like have all of the tools and are able to write songs so well that they're at the top of that neoclassical. They're perfect for me.
Have you heard Symphony X?
Yeah.
I was surprised you wouldn't like them, man.
They're not really my thing. To
Their
tell you the
older
truth, but-
albums have a lot of neoclassical stuff, and they're fucking amazing. They're really good. I can't remember the album. There's a specific album that I think you like more than the rest. That's very Unlucky Morpheus. Unlucky Morpheus, except for the singer, of course, is the guy singer. So that changes up the dynamics, of course. So, but something about like the higher pitched vocals definitely work really well with neoclassical sound. But yeah.
Although I want to hear another band. I want to hear a band that does that. Like, I'll be totally honest. Unlucky Morpheus would probably go from like my top 5 list to like 1C if they had some screaming in there. If they just threw in, if they like the guitarist does it every once in a while, like he kind of throws in his background growl underneath it. But man, if they had like just like if 20% of each of their songs had screaming, I would be fucking in love.
I was gonna offer up Versailles to you, but there's no screaming in Versailles. If you like that,
well, I don't need screaming. I'm just saying that it just takes it up a little bit for me because I'm just a fan of screaming. I don't like it when bands just scream. Like, I usually get annoyed with that. I need a little bit of vocal melody most of the time, but like I also don't want all vocal melody, just for my personal preference. No problem with it if there is none, but like you do get an extra point or two in my book if you get some screams in there.
Dazzle Vision. Check out Dazzle Vision.
Dazzle Vision.
Dazzle Vision.
All right. So, anyways, back to Love Bites. So Fami just this is a rough translation. She came out with a music book, like a bass book that will be released soon, and it's gonna have like a lot of photo shots and stuff like that. I'm assuming it's gonna be like the Band-Maid score book, where it has a lot of awesome photos inside the book and things like that. She's gonna have playing lessons and interviews, and this is gonna be released in May. There's a picture from one of the Band-Maid shows that was posted on their Instagram. And then Bratz is touring. The weird thing with Bratz, though, I feel like they're doing this wrong, guys. Like, they need to put out more than just one song. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just compared to all the other bands that we've been hearing. They kind of put out something. But, like, I feel like they're barely staying relevant and, like, they have such potential because that last song was so good. But then they dragged it out for so long. They had, like, I think 8 teasers for one song. And then, like, they drop Spiderwebs, and it's such a good song. I loved it. And then nothing. And now they're already touring.
And I remember us talking about, like, how nobody watched it the first couple weeks also. Like, there was, like, 15,000 views on the song or something, and it deserved so much more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, it kind of was just left me weird, you know? I'm like, what? Oh, that's it? Okay. I don't know. Hanabi Matsuri heard she has tonsillitis, or she had a surgery for tonsils, or it's not tonsillitis, something like that. She is not feeling well, so she just had an operation done. So she went for surgery for tonsillectomy. I'm not sure what that consists of, but
it's when they take out your tonsils.
That's what that is. Okay. So
you usually have to like relax for about a week afterwards. You eat a lot of ice cream. That's the ice cream one.
So first we had the drummer with the collarbone, and now we have her with the tonsils. So I really wish her a speedy recovery, and hope they're all ready to go, you know, for their shows that are coming up here in the U.S. And I gave in and I took out a credit card and got the Aftershock Festival tickets.
Hey, how many credit cards have you maxed out?
Not enough
for concert tickets, man.
I don't know.
This is like your thing.
I shouldn't have though. But I'm like, dude, there's so many bands that are gonna be at Aftershock, and I blame Mechanicat. He made me feel bad. He gave me the fear of missing out. You know, gave me a little FOMO, and I'm like, fuck. The tricky part is like finding where I'm gonna stay when I get there, because the hotels are like $400 a night. I'm just probably gonna rent a car and just sleep in the car or something like that. Rent a car for a little bit.
Dude, I guarantee you somewhere in your network there's someone who will put you on a floor or something, unless you're bringing the entire family.
No, it's just me. My family would not want to do that. It's just
someone will put you up. Just ask.
Limp Bizkit's also going to be playing, so I was like, I'm a huge Limp Bizkit fan, or used to be. Well, of their older stuff, like first few albums. So
I was listening to them today, man. I was making my son listen to them today.
I'm gonna have no fucking voice after that. I'm like, even they're there. I'm like, I gotta go. You know,
It's just one of those days, bro.
And then,
they got some bangers. I don't care what anybody says. People hate on them. People hate on the whole genre. They're wrong. You're all wrong.
I don't fucking care. I love them. Broken by the Scream is doing their thing, hitting up concerts and stuff. They're doing really well. This is another group I have to get into a lot more. Cold Rain, forgot why I put this on here, but they're doing things. They have on March 25th, which I think already passed, so I'm a little late on that news, doing concerts, still staying strong. It's another band. I actually have a CD that I don't think I've ever listened. I bought the record or something and I never listened to it for some reason. D Drive has their tour that's going on throughout all of April and May. I just actually think Sukekio, which is the guy, I forget his name already, from Darren Gray. They have their other projects, so I don't know. They were trying to release this is for their tour 2023. They had announcements for spots that have been lifted, so I guess there was like a hold off, but now it's been lifted, so you can now get in there with tickets. Online members can get them also. So they are available, so you can go onto their site and click on that link to get in. Love Bites releasing some jerseys. Would you guys get a Love Bites jersey?
Like a basketball jersey?
Yeah, like a tank top basketball jersey. Love Bites.
Fuck yeah! Wait, do you have any pictures? Let me see this.
Why the number 22 though? Does anyone know? So application deadline, March 31st, Friday. So this will be number 22, large size with all members' signatures on it, and one person will receive a gift. We are waiting for fan club members to apply. So I guess you apply for their fan club membership, and you can get a chance to win one of these things signed by all the members.
I love it. I think that looks so cool, man. I mean, I'm a big basketball fan, but like their actual logo on the front it looks so good on a basketball jersey, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah. Maximum Hormone doing things that are not music related still, but kind of music related because they're going to see Pantera. I was like, okay, it's a different post. It's not them trying to sell stuff. So, Rio put up a picture of him going to Pantera, which is not even Pantera anymore, but cool for him, man. I'm glad he's gonna go check out a band he likes. Please release some fucking music. Please. Do you guys think they will at all? Is it coming ever?
One day. I don't know if you'll get a whole album again, though. That's the thing that I'm wondering. Like, it's been so long, and they don't really seem like they're in album making mode because we haven't gotten any updates about that. I almost feel like it's more likely that you'll get like a single or like a short or like a 3-song EP.
I never thought I would ever listen to a band that would come out with just 2 half songs. 2 half songs. Like, like what the fuck? Like, how are you? And the 2 half songs are great. And I really thought we were going to get full songs, and we didn't. So they need to, like, watch Sim and see what Sim's doing. You know how Sim puts out full songs, guys, for their anime shows? They're just trolling us, I guess. They're just trolling us. That's what they want to do. Why do I like bands that like to troll people? Like Babymetal, fucking Metal likes to troll everyone. Max Hormone likes to troll everyone. I think there's a problem with me liking these bands, probably.
Yeah, the problem is you, not the bands.
yeah. I'm liking the wrong bands. The only band that's not trolling me is Band-Maid, apparently. All right, we've also been spoiled a little bit, I think, recently by some of these bands that we've discovered in the last 2 years that just constantly put out new music. Like, I remember coming up, like when I was younger, a teenager or whatever, and like most of the bands that I liked then only put out an album every 3-4 years, something like that. And then we've got like Babymetal and like Nemophila, for example, who put out an album every year. You know like Nemophila put out like 3 albums in their first year and month. You know what? We just finished writing 5 songs for the Dichotic album. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to release 30 seconds of each song, and that's it. Fuck it.
You do that. Hey, man, you might get people hyped for it then.
Only 30
Apparently
seconds.
It's working for MTH.
I'll be like, that's the full song. 30 seconds. Guys, we just need to write minute-long songs, and we're good. We're good. Nothing else after that.
Maybe that's the era that we're moving into, bro. TikTok style. Like we put out songs that are the length of a TikTok video.
God.
No.
Yeah, 5-minute album. There you go. That's what I'm gonna
We don't
release.
get to control it, guys. We just have to ride the wave.
No.
It's like SOD's first album. Like 8 songs on there that are under 10 seconds.
You ever hear agoraphobic nosebleed? Because
No.
that's everything that they do. I don't think they have any songs that are over 25 seconds long.
So Pale Dusk is going to Germany. I was hoping they come to the U.S. I mean, I was looking so forward to them coming over here, but then they canceled, and that's really sad. But they're going to Germany. So if you're in Germany, go check out Pale Dusk. And if you haven't heard of Pale Dusk, go check them out. They're fucking good. They're really good. I like them a lot. Do you guys like Pale Dusk? Have you guys heard of them?
Still haven't heard a song from them.
Me either.
What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong
I feel
with
like you were
guys?
like really hyped on them, and then you like came down, and we're like,
Yeah,
you know
because-
what? Maybe not.
No, because they lost half their members and they decided not to come to the U.S., so I was very sad. And they just wanted to go to Australia.
You get
only.
angry at these bands. Man. You take these things personally.
I do. I
Fuck
do.
you guys. I loved you, and you're not coming to see me.
I'm sure that's how people in Europe are feeling about Band-Maid right now.
I mean, it does seem like people are getting real. Every time we talk about
Yeah.
them coming to America
Yeah.
for a second time before they go to Europe, people are like, fuck you guys for complaining at all. You know?
Right? Yeah, yeah.
No, they're allowed to be salty though.
I might be if I were them too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just joking around too, guys. I'm not serious. I'm not like actually pissed. I'm not over here going like, fucking Maximum Hormone all day. It's just I put the news together and then I see MTH and I'm like, oh, announcement of nothing again. Thank you. They
True.
remind me. They just remind me how they're not releasing music every day with their Twitter posts. So anyways, Pale Dusk going to Germany, guys. You should check them out if you're out there. Great band. They're playing with Chelsea Grin, which I haven't heard about Chelsea Grin in like for fucking ever, or Polaris. So I didn't even know they were both still doing things. I haven't listened to them since like 2007. We have Scandal. Scandal's new song is really good, and I like it a lot. Have you guys heard the new Scandal song? You still haven't?
No, but
Champ?
I have heard that.
Champ, you need to go fucking listen to it right now.
I'm still
Stop.
in catch-up mode, bro. I missed 2 weeks. I'm still in catch-up mode.
Go another room and listen to it, and come back.
All right.
That'd been awesome if you did that, but it's really good.
I actually do want to get more into Scandal. Like I've listened to a decent amount of them from like their old days. I've heard like way more like 2012 Scandal than I've heard from like new Scandal.
Yeah.
So I'm always more intrigued, I think, by what bands are doing today.
Yeah.
So that I could see like where they came from. And you guys
Yeah.
you guys talked really, really well about this song last week. So you got me hyped for it.
It's really good. It's a good song. I think you guys should check it out. Pre-orders for their CD Line of Sight will be on May 10th, which is Wednesday. Lots of like little news updates, guys. A lot of quick news going on here. Trident is going to be playing in Tokyo Dome City Hall, and this is going to be on today. It's going to be today, guys. Or no, they already played. Man, it's a little late. I need to do better on these news update videos. But and then Unlucky Morpheus. If you guys didn't know, they did have their Evolution and Diversity Live 2022 Zep City Blu-ray and CD is out. You guys can order that. It's already been released. Hagane, which lost like half their band members, the bass player put up a playthrough of one of the songs. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. So if you're into bass, want to check that out. She does have a video of her doing the playthrough.
Cool.
Did you hear about that? Hagane losing half their members. Nix?
If you're asking,
Yeah.
And I put a post up somewhere. It's like, are you still a band if 3/5 of your band leave? And I got shit on for it. So, but they made good points.
Well,
Ultimately, it
there's-
comes down to who's writing the music, right?
right. Yeah.
yeah. It's hard though. It depends on how much. For me, it depends on how much influence the members had. So, for example, like when Limp Bizkit lost West Portland and they came out with a CD afterwards, it was not the same at all.
It was not.
It was not the same at all. And then I'm like, that matters. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it depends on how much the weight of the member has on the actual full band.
I think the same thing happened with Korn too, right? Like they lost like
Oh yeah, he left for a little bit. Head went on some spiritual journey or something like that.
yeah, and then they tried to release an album without him, and it was like
was
just
so
so
weird.
forgettable.
there's some bands where you need all the members. It just doesn't work the same. I remember there was a singer I worked with that it was kind of the same vibe, and we would write like 5 songs in a day. We clicked so well. All of a sudden we'd be like writing song after song after song after song. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And then when you lose that person, you're like, all of a sudden the creativity just like goes away. Like it's just not as good or something. It is a really weird vibe. The drummer from 10K Rock also has a playthrough up on Tomoya Studio. They have a lot of cool like little playthroughs and stuff going on there. I thought it was an interesting YouTube channel. You know, if you're a learning musician, it'd be a cool thing to check out. We also have Roselia, who came out with, they had a live show that played a few days ago. They just came out, they just posted a video called Passionate Anthem. They're a pretty good band. There's some good bands in this era. I think they kind of get overlooked, but well, maybe not overlooked by me, I guess. But they're pretty good bands. Have you guys checked out any Roselia?
Oh yeah, I've got most of it on 2 or 3 albums on my phone. If you like Anna Song, that is the band for you, man. If you like Anna Song, like anime songs from animes, that is their jam. That's right their wheelhouse right there.
I do. I'm surprised if you like that music that you haven't checked out World Cigarettes, because that's like pretty much all what they do.
It's just a matter of getting around to it. I get, the OCD kicks in. I'm doing 100 different things at once.
No, I hear you, buddy. That's how I am too.
Out of this genre, somebody just mentioned in the chat, CK, you read my mind. I prefer Razor Sweelan over all of them. That Razor Sweelan is a killer band. And it's mainly because of that singer bassist. Let me know what her name is in the chat. I forgot again. But she's really good. I highly recommend it if you guys haven't heard them yet. Razor Sweelan, really good singer and bassist. Top 5. We got a little change up. Shout out to Simnode. Thank you so much for putting this together for us every single week. We appreciate you, man, so much for it. So what he added was a slide where we have all the entries on here. If you're wondering how the hell you get an entry in on here, you just join our Discord, go to the top 10 segment, and you just submit any video, okay? It can be an older one if you want. Doesn't mean it's going to make it on there. But what he does is he has new entries here, and you can see where they place, okay? So these were the latest new entries that we had. We had the
Hey, before you jump into that, Allan, I need to dip out.
Okay.
So, hey, thank you. I know it's almost at the end, but I got stuff I need to do. Thank you so much for inviting me. Always happy to be on here. If you need a pinch hitter, maybe a little more than 30 seconds notice.
Yeah. Hey, can we just blame Ryan for this?
Absolutely.
Okay,
we can blame Wave too.
Right.
We can pass it around.
All right. Nah, just Ryan. Let's
okay, fair enough. Mir, you son of a bitch.
This is where you need to. I don't know if Champ knows this. When the first time I went to Nemo with Allan, I'm not gonna make this real short. Ryan wanted to go and couldn't, so I found Allan. I met him at that Nemo show, and we started talking. I'm like, hey, we need to take a picture and send it to Ryan. So there's a picture of him and I flipping off the camera, and we sent it to Ryan from the Nemo show.
Yeah. Solid. Yeah, that needed to exist.
And then it turned into Curtis also joining me for another flip-off session to Ryan. All right, man. We appreciate you being on.
Thank you, guys.
I forgot. I should have asked you sooner to sign you off. My bad. I got caught up in the moment. Have a good one, Nix. I appreciate it, man.
Peace, man.
All right.
Cool. Michael says, I miss Wave, even though y'all talk over Wave all the time. Yeah. We do that sometimes.
Sometimes.
But I feel like Wave actually kind of likes it that we do that, if we're being totally honest.
Yeah. Yeah, we're better about it. I don't think that happens. In the beginning, we were all bad. We all talked over everybody. Yeah. When we first started doing this podcast, it was not so good. I was going to say, make sure you go follow Maid News Network. If you want everything Band-Maid news, they keep up with it. Like he just mentioned, you got Peter that's doing daily reports and everything over there. So make sure you go check that out. He's an awesome person to talk with about Japanese music also. So you can talk to him about anything. All right. So go check it out. Get your Band-Maid fill right over there. So back to the top 10. Then my switcher stopped working. All right. So, new entries, though. These are the new entries, and we just mentioned Saiseiga. Saisega's on here now. A Crowd of Rebellion. Quibi, 88 Temple Pilgrimage. Sorry, I can't read today. I don't know what the hell that is. But yeah, those are the new entries. And actually, Simno has it like all numbered up to 50, so you can see where your entry falls in on when you do enter it in, right over here. So number 10, we got Bantam. Is this new on the list? Or I think this has been on here before. Yeah, it has. So we got Koshi coming at 10. Number 9, we got Band-Maid, Memorable, staying right at 9. So it's been in the top 10 after only 2 weeks with Memorable and Ode to Their Fans, filmed during the recent U.S. tour. Number 8, we got TK with First Death, still holding, fell down a spot to number 8. We got The Birthday, Love Rockets. The Birthday is a Japanese garage rock band formed in 2006. Yusuke Chiba and members of his previous band, Rosso and the Michelle Gun Elephant. Wow, what a name. Love Rockets is the ending theme for the anime movie The First Slam Dunk. That's sports anime?
Probably. There's a couple of them out there. I think there's one that's all about basketball. They make all the scenes that are like dramatic in the basketball game look like fight scenes.
I don't understand that concept. I really don't. Like, I don't understand making an anime on sports. I just don't get it.
Oh, that is the basketball one. Okay, that's the one that I was thinking of.
Like,
I mean, I think it's a cool idea, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, just because like sports, like, you know, sports fans are just like us, like music fans. We're super nerdy, you know, and like super nerdy sports fans. You know, they got the analytics going in front of them. They're like very hyper focused on things and lingo that nobody else would know about, right?
Oh, we lost Champ. He just froze. Look at that. Look at Champ all frozen there. All right, we'll keep going while we wait for him to come back. I don't know what happened to Champ. Champ is gone. All right, so number 6, we had Bish go up 2 spots with Bye Bye Show. Number 5, we got Hanabiye holding on strong with Pardon Me, I Have to Go. Did drop a spot. Number 4, we have Babymetal, Light and Darkness, going up 2 spots. Very interesting. Not my most favorite song out of the releases. I do have to go listen to it again. A lot of people say it's really good live. I do want to give it another chance and keep listening to it. I think the second time around, I did enjoy it a lot more when I watched it with the band, but I'll listen to more. I can't wait to hear the album from front to back, and then I can really feel it out. Oh, and then no more Champ. No top 10 video. Can we see? Oh, you guys can't see it? I'm sorry. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Everything is people watch on YouTube. You guys can see everything right now. I'm sorry about that. So and then at number 3, I'm not sure what happened to Champ. We have Babymetal again with Metal Kingdom, and just like the album's number 1 on the Oricon charts too. So it makes sense why all their songs are on here. We got 10 Feet with Die Zero Khan, and we have number 1 is Under the Tree. Sim. We all knew this was going to be number 1. So Sim is back with another opening for Attack on Titan. This time, the final season, part 405.7. No, I was kidding. Well, maybe part 3, but whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of parts. I don't understand the final season shit for Sim. It's really weird. But that is our top 10. I wonder how long they're going to stay in number 1, because the Rumbling was there for a while. And it was really good. The other song, the Rumbling was really good, and this new one's really good, I think. Hey, look it's Dichotic at number 10. Don't worry, guys, it's not rigged. And this is for covers, by the way. Top 10 covers. We got Soki Ninaro going up a spot at number 9. Number 8, we had Dichotic again. Monochrome Babymetal. If you guys haven't checked these covers out, go check them out. Also, just re-released my Band-Maid cover, also Sai Nakadori. I closed down my solo channel, combined it with the Dichotic channel. It became too much work. Number 7, we have Asterism going up 2 spots with Demon Slayer. Number 6, we got Soka Ninaro again with so I'm going to try to say this, Senban Sakura. I don't know if I said that right. Probably not. Number 5, we got Soka Ninaro again with Arashi Truth. We got number 4, we got Asterism again with Pellic. Number 3, we got Hazuki Rosier. I don't know. Is this new? Holding Steady, cover of Lunacy's Rosier by Hazuki, the vocalist of Lynch. That I have not heard yet. I haven't heard any of the versions yet. Number 2, we got Mei-chan. And number 1 for the cover list, we have Babymetal, monochrome, piano version, which is a very, 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 very good version of that song. If you guys haven't checked out the first take, I think you should check it out. Even if you're not a Babymetal fan, I think it'll give you a new appreciation for the band when you check that out. Well, this is weird, guys. Not sure what happened to everybody. I guess I was destined to do this by myself at some point. I thought I was gonna be doing this by myself from the beginning because it was like nobody was here. But yeah, that is the news. Again, congratulations to Gordon who won the raffle. Like I said, guys, if you're a member of Patreon, we always enter you into these. Oh, Champ's back. Champ is back. When he comes back, he can sign off too now. That's not a cover. What's not a cover? Oh, there he is. Hey, Champ. Can you hear me? It says you're connecting audio. No one else was worthy, Allan. I don't know, Debbie.
I'm worthy, and I'm here.
That's not a cover. They're singing their own song. I mean, technically it's a cover. They're covering their song in the piano version. Hey, I don't make the charts. Talk to Simno. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
Are we talking about the first take?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
yeah, I don't know if you can consider that a cover.
I don't know.
It's more of a remix.
Hold on. Let's put up a poll. Is covering your own song a cover? Yes or no?
Kinda. I never considered it, but kinda.
Is covering your own song qualify as a cover? Well, I mean, they didn't write it, right? I mean, Sue didn't. Did they write? No, they didn't write it. I think Babymetal wrote it, right? Covering your own song count as a cover?
I'm going with remix. That's the word I'm using for it.
I think it counts as a cover because right in that question, it pretty much says it is. Oh, Sim, no, I say yes to a lot of things that I barely read. No, I was kidding.
That's probably true.
No, I really don't remember you asking me that, but you probably did. So I'll take full blame for this. Now we need a remix chart. Yeah, let's get a top 10 remix chart. There we go.
We should do a top 10 first take performance.
Okay, how about this? Let's put the first take onto the regular top 10 then. Let's put on the regular top 10. By the way, here's Maid News Network's channel. Go follow him. Oh, you guys can't see it. I forgot to change the scenes again. My bad, guys. I'm failing today. I've been playing scene change-ups all day. I like remix. No, just a different version. All right, Simno, we're going to let everyone else vote, okay, on this. All right, so 76% of y'all say, no, it doesn't count as a cover, so we'll put it on the top 10 chart. All right, fair enough. All right, Simno, let's switch it to the regular chart then. Allan, are you okay, bro? No, I'm never okay, honestly. I don't think I've ever been okay in my life. All right. Well,
moments of okayness.
I have moments of okayness. My whole existence is a roller coaster. Every day, every minute.
If y'all knew Allan like I do, you would know that he's being completely honest right now.
Yeah, I don't think people believe it until they hang out with me. They're like, "Oh, you're just as fucking nuts as you are on camera."
A roller coaster. I like how you explain that. Your life is a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I feel
really
like
is.
It's pretty accurate.
I'll say this: nothing's ever boring. I'm never bored.
That's good.
I'm never bored, guys. I can be on. I'm serious. I'm never bored ever. I don't know what boring
congratulations.
is.
That is something to be proud of, man.
I don't know. Sometimes you ever just like want to be bored? Like I really would enjoy just being bored out of my mind right now.
Yes, all the time. I strive for boredom.
Can I please have a dull moment? Just give me...
Smoke some weed. It gets real dull real fast, I'll tell you.
You would think so. I feel like my life just turns into chaos. Adventures happen on weed. Yeah, but anyways.
Not for me. Snacks happen.
Snacks happen. Oh man. Well, that's the end of the podcast, guys. Anything else you want to mention? You got cut off like in the middle. You were like this and froze. You froze. in time.
So don't do one of these.
You're like, you're in the middle explaining something. You're like,
I think I was just talking about how sports fans are as nerdy as music fans, and so they probably appreciate the visualization of like a fight scene turned into a sports scene.
oh yeah. I just don't. I mean, maybe the sports are rigged anyways, but like, I don't know. You're gonna watch something that's already predetermined and drawn out and like created. I guess there's probably plots and story within it that make it interesting. It just doesn't make.
Yeah,
it
I haven't seen it yet, but one of my buddies watched it, and he's not a basketball fan, and he said it was fun as hell. So
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. Michael says, no, I enjoy never being bored, but for fuck's sakes, I just want my chaos to stop being on the negative swing. I agree, Mike. I would enjoy that too, but it seems like the world favors the negative swing.
It's true. I mean, with chaos, they kind of go hand in hand. Like, you can't have chaos and not have the negativity attached to it. You can have positive chaos, but negativity is going to come with it also.
Yeah.
I truly enjoy avoiding drama at all costs, and I'm willing to trade, the fun chaos for stagnated lack of drama boredom. It's really hard for me to be bored in general. I could stare at a ceiling for like 2 hours and probably be okay. So
yeah. Radio Rafa, it was not clickbait. We never do clickbait. Ever. We never do that. No,
we talked about Babymetal for like a half hour, my dude.
Yeah. It's in the beginning of the podcast we talk about it, but really quick, it was something mentioned in their interview about how they were like kind of weary about doing things again. So
yeah, we read the interview off in the beginning, at least parts of it. So
yeah, and keep a lookout. I'll have this voiceover thing done soon. I'll get it posted for you all. We'll have a nice audio version of all these interviews and everything, and how they feel about the songs. They have really cool articles. It's up on Discord. Another reason to join Discord, you have you can get caught up on all the links and everything. Everyone will help you out. Or join any of the Babymetal Discords. They'll have all the information for you guys. You can find it. You got the Foxhole. You got Babymetal Tube. Either of those, or Gaijin Guys. The link's in the description. But here's like it shows what they're talking about with all the songs and all that stuff. So, But all right, man. Any lasting notes? Do you want to talk about Patreon and all that good stuff?
Kind of, except that we have not been able to get together as a quad. What do you call 4 people? 3 is a trio. What's 4? A quadruplet? I don't know. It's been a good solid 3 weeks since we've gotten to be able to get together and record a group reaction together. So it's been a little slower this month on the Patreon, but as soon as we get everybody back, it'll get back together, and we'll be doing weekly group reactions again before the podcast. So if you do want to check it out, or check out all of the other ones that we have already up there, I think there's like 30 something, if I recall correctly, go over to patreon.com/guys.
Quartet is what they're telling us.
Quartet. It feels weird to say if you're not singing, though. You know what I mean?
By the way, I'm gonna mention this real quick. We have a friend of ours of the community that's fallen on some rough times. I told her I mentioned this for her today. I'm gonna post her link. She helps us with our t-shirts and stuff. She's helped us with our t-shirt designs and our merch store. And she also has her own little thing where she does like these brass objects and stuff. Here's the link to her store. You guys should check it out. Her name's Diana, and it would mean the world if you guys could help her out. And here, it won't let me submit it, but it should have popped up. It's right there. So any love you guys could give to her, that'd be awesome. She's helped out the community a tremendous amount. So I just want to mention that real quick before we end this podcast too. Oh, foursome.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what we should call the group, a foursome. There we go. Yeah, we'll have a foursome later this week.
I can't wait.
We'll meet a little earlier this next Sunday, and then we'll just knock out 3 reactions in a row. That's what we should do.
We'll have a foursome, and we'll do the group thing. It'll be nice.
We'll do the foursome and do reactions.
We'll react to the foursome.
And then react. Oh, we're gonna react to it after the fact.
Yeah, we'll record the foursome and then we'll react to it.
Do we have to pay extra to see that?
Yes, you have to go to the Patreon. It's $5 a month. Enjoy.
Patreon. All right, guys. You all have a good one. Stay awesome, everyone. Love you all.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you
Peace.
guys. See you.
Adios.